Hello everybody, my name is Rea Raus and I'm going to present a topic today, developing curriculum for education for sustainable development, and this topic from the point of view of a practicing teacher and how to compile a course program for sustainable economy. And just a few words about myself. I got my PhD from Tampere University, Finland, and my topic was actually teacher ecological self in the context of teacher education for sustainability. So at the moment, I'm working as a teacher, as a lecturer in a local college, and also as a researcher in Statera Research Center, which also focuses on sustainability. And I'm coming from West Estonia. Estonia is a small country, but our West Estonia is world famous for waterbirds, so it's called like a kingdom of waterbirds. But enough about myself. First, the theoretical overview towards that topic, what I'm presenting today, is that when we start developing a curriculum, we start actually from far more deeper questions than just the topics, what should be studied and learned during the course. So for me, curriculum development starts negotiating already the value systems and worldviews what the lecturer or a teacher has. Because we are carrying the certain values and we have some certain understanding of the world, and that is shaping the whole array of topics that we are actually teaching. So specifically, for instance, when we talk about sustainable economics, is it just focusing on recycling, or does it mean that the whole field of economy needs to change, and to what direction is very much of the matter of our own understanding of the world. And when we talk about sustainability and especially economy, we can see all over the world that it is somewhat contrasting concepts. When we talk about economy nowadays, we are so used to thinking about economic growth. But at the same time, discussing sustainability, we know that this eternal growth is not possible. So we're facing quite wicked problems, which should be solved in multifaceted way. And this gives a lot of positions to argue and investigate where to start from. And speaking of worldviews and values, we can see also that when we talk about our Western way of thinking, we are very much used to think that economy is more or less getting a lot of raw materials from the nature as much as we want. And throwing stuff away also into the nature, and that is our way of looking at economy. At the same time, if we look at indigenous cultures, we can see that our ancient belief or understanding is that we are one with Mother Nature, and the respect and even the sacred approach to the environment is something that we find in indigenous cultures. So it is there where we can find this holistic understanding of the world. So this is something also to think about when we approach such a strong, solid subject as is economy. And we also have to look at different understandings of sustainability, which several studies and theories have pointed out that we can approach sustainability in a very shallow manner or look at it with quite deep understanding. And that is why we can see that sustainability can also be viewed from like a very technological view, or we can understand that we have a lot of technological problems that need to be solved. But when we look at more biocentric model of sustainability, there we can see that the underlying worldview is actually the holistic approach to human-nature relationship. And this definitely shapes the foundation for the curriculum development as well. So meaning of sustainability is something worthwhile considering in any course when we talk about sustainability. And just as an example of an earlier study about student teachers, actually, it was viewed that if they don't understand the meaning of sustainability in depth, then of course like simplistic, only like environmental ideas prevail. So therefore, this mechanistic and holistic worldview is something that we must understand what we possess, and also we as teachers and lecturers, we are shaping the worldviews of our students as well. So how do we do it? Of course, from through our own example, but it is a matter of pedagogy, of learning and teaching. So what is this method, or what is this pedagogical tool, what we need to find is also a separate question. So in that sense, learning sustainability is at the same time unlearning unsustainability, which is not actually something that, some words that I've invented, but Professor Arjen Walls from Wageningen University has mentioned it in several cases. So how to actually teach and how to learn and unlearn in the learning process is actually a critical challenge. So where to start from here? In my course, I started from actually from Stephen Sterling's work, where he describes what is ecological paradigm in education. So what is this ecological or holistic view on education? And he has compared the core values when we talk about mechanistic and ecological or holistic approach to education. So just to mention some few lines here. For instance, when we have mechanistic approach to learning, we are concentrating mostly on effectiveness, learning facts and figures by heart. But when we think about ecological approach to learning, we understand that learning should be transformational. That means how to reach to transformative learning is a specific aim for a teacher as well. And when we view learning and teaching from those comparing aspects, there are a lot of dimensions that each teacher and lecturer should think about. And for me, it is important to know that our students are not only like learning machines, but they are spiritual beings, they are emotional beings, and how to address those dimensions during a course program is a specific interest for me as well, because this is something that helps or aids the transformational learning as well. So, how learning occurs when we talk about sustainability, I think it's worthwhile mentioning the name of Arjen Walls again, where he has identified sustainability competencies that should be addressed during the learning process. And it means that we should support our learners, our students, to develop all those different gestalts that are mentioned here. The gestalt as a way of thinking. So how to, it's not a good word to say, but I will say it, how to teach students think to think from the point of view of different creatures in the world. That is transhuman gestalt. How do you see the world from the point of view of animals, for instance? Or transcultural gestalt. How do you understand different cultures, including indigenous cultures? How can you make decisions where you address different places, different disciplines, different times? This is something that we need to teach and learn ourselves as well. So there are so many different aspects what to think before we actually start putting together a course program. And when we address a specific course now, sustainable economics, for instance, so what are those principles or where to start from? So for me, very interesting work has been done by Frankova and Johannisova, who speak about localism as a principle for sustainable economics. And they very much bring out the connection between social, ecological, and economic questions when we talk about localization. And just for example, what localism is something that even the European Union strategies are speaking about when we say that we must support the development of short supply chains, that we should support urban gardening. We should give more right to the communities and societies to speak and to hear their voice and to sustain our landscapes, our environment, and our communities. How to support the stronger development of local farmers' markets, and so on and so forth. There are so many questions related to the policy of the economy. So this is something that forms for me also the foundation of the specific subject of economy. So we can say that localization is like a process and the result of a moral, political, and practical support for locally owned businesses. So more closer to the designing of the curriculum, what kind of themes are addressed then in our sustainable economics classroom? Because I'm speaking about a specific a course in a local high school. And these themes, starting from strategical trends in the world, facts and figures, this is something that to show the students that really strategical good decisions are made, for instance, in European Union, even when we talk about the Green Deal. And then we're addressing the how to say, meaning of life questions. We discuss and investigate different worldviews. We have philosophical discussions. We address the same gestalt switching, what I was mentioning, and having such critical view on sustainability challenges as well. With for instance, one question: do solar parks save the world? Today we know that they don't. But what is the solution then? So these are the main themes that we discussed during our course, and of course we are analyzing facts and figures. We are doing many researches on different topics and designing local business models. But what gives the whole presentation now such a scientific approach as well is that we are studying the development of our students. Having the qualitative approach, and they write essays where they reflect what kind of views on sustainability they possess in the beginning and end of the course. And based on the content analysis of 26 essays, we can say that we can see the how to say, climbing up the sustainability ladder, that coming from a very technology-based understanding of sustainability, we can see the change in students where they discuss such deeper related or deeper immersed dimensions of sustainability. So the final summarizing comment or from my side is that during curriculum design, there are many interesting and challenging points we should address, starting from our own worldviews, our own understanding of the world, till the very detailed and specified questions related to certain disciplines. So thank you very much for listening, and hope to have interesting discussions.